In this recording, we're going to talk about the change to how you add players to your roster. So if I click on club members over here on the left-hand side, I get to my roster. And the changes with adding players to your roster. You can actually add a player to your roster by clicking on Add Player to Roster here, or by clicking on Locate Player over here. They'll both end up in the same place ultimately. If you click Add Player to Roster, previously you could add players as visitors or travelers. We've added the ability to also add someone as a member or a guest as well. If they're brand new to the ACC and do not have an ACC number already, you can enter them here as you always could. So if I go ahead and click on Add Visitor, Traveler, Member, or Guest, I'll come to this search area where I can search for an existing member. It's always good, even if you're not sure whether someone is an existing member or not, it's good to do a search first, because if they are, it's better to add them rather than typing in a new name. It just creates more work on the back end if we have duplicate entries in the system that we have to clean up. So I'm going to start by searching for Jay Sorensen, who is a player who plays in Club 21 in Vacaville. So Jay's a member of that club, but he always plays in our club, so I can just add him as a visitor. It knows he's a member of Club 21 already, and so my only choice is to add him as a visitor because he's already a member of another club. So I can click here and add him as a visitor, and you'll notice that Jay has been added to my roster as a visitor. I can also add a traveler to my roster. So let's suppose that Fred White comes in from Hawaii, plays at our local club. So I search, I find Fred here. It knows because he's in Club 600 that he has to be added as a traveler. And that's my only option because he is in Club 600. So I'll click here, add him as a traveler, and you'll see down here Fred's now added to the club as a traveler. Next option is adding someone who is not a member of another club already. So let's suppose Bob Bartosh comes and plays at our club, but he's a bit of a curmudgeon and he doesn't want to pay the ACC, the grassroots dues, and he doesn't want to actually join the club. He just wants to play as a guest one evening. And so we don't want to add him as a member of the club. We just want to let Bob play as a guest, which anyone can do. The first two times they play. So I can add Bob to the club as a guest, and that adds Bob here as a guest. The last thing I can do is add someone to my roster as a member. Now you can only add people who are not already members of another club. In this case, I'm going to assume that Michael Burgess from Reading moves to Antioch, wants to join our club. So I search for Michael. I see his club ID is 0, and that means he's not a member of another club. If he is a member of another club, then you'll need to contact your regional statistician and have them move him into your club. But in this case, Michael's not a member of another club, so I can go ahead and just add him directly to my roster as a member, and he now shows up as a member of my club. And so those are the 4 different ways you can add someone to your roster, and that's a little bit different from the way it worked last year.